Hey folks, how's it going? This is Seagull here, back with another Sims info/thoughts video. So today I'll be talking a bit about cats and dogs, a very real possibility of The Sims 1 returning, and an ambitious future for The Sims 4. So to kick things off, the final week of the SPCAI collab is on, and this week it's about local pride. The task is to make a pet themed around local pride. It can involve things like your home country, your local sports team, or your school's colors. Upload the creations to the gallery with represent in the title and use the hashtags Sims4Pause and represent. I think this is definitely the coolest week out of them all. I might actually partake in it, because when I got to play cats and dogs early at Sims Camp, I did make a Canadian-themed cat, although it didn't really show as much in the end because I ended up covering him in samurai armor. So I was planning to remake that cat in the final game at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, so maybe this will be my excuse to do that. And I really want to see what you all end up making too. I think some really interesting pets can come out of this. Moving on to The Sims 1, something quite odd happened recently. What you're seeing here is an official page for The Sims 1 on EA's website. And, well, that begs the question, why go to the effort of making this page? Because, as of right now, they don't sell The Sims 1 anymore. Like, even with The Sims 2, while it's harder to obtain, you can still get The Sims 2 on Origin, but not The Sims 1. And interestingly enough, it not only lists it on PC, but also PlayStation 2. And there's also a slot for Standard Edition. And when you compare it to other product pages like Cats and Dogs, that's where you can go to buy the game. So it seems that there's a possibility that they're finally going to bring The Sims 1 to Origin after several years of us begging for it. It seems like it's gonna happen. I honestly gave up hope. I thought it was just never gonna happen. I thought it would have been a thing for the 15th anniversary of The Sims, but no, that passed and it didn't happen. But this gives me hope again. The wrench in this whole thing, though, is that the PlayStation 2 is also listed, and PlayStation 2 is not the current PlayStation console anymore. That's PlayStation 4, so I don't think they're suddenly gonna start selling the PS2 version. Unless they just plan on porting it for the PlayStation 4 and then you can buy the PlayStation 2 version on the PlayStation 4. I don't know, that could be it. Although, that would be kind of strange that PlayStation 2 is listed, but The Sims 1 also did have versions on the original Xbox and the GameCube, and that's actually the console I played it on. But then again, if the very first console Sims was being ported to the PlayStation 4, wouldn't it say PlayStation 4 instead of PlayStation 2? I don't know. It's just a weird thing. I mean, this could just be me overthinking things. Maybe it'll mean actually nothing at all in the end. But still, I think it is a little strange that they've gone to the effort all of a sudden of putting this page there. The last thing I want to talk about is that SimGuru Grant did this interview with PC Insider recently. I'll leave a link to it in the video description below. It's definitely worth a read in my opinion. But I did want to highlight two particular points that I think are really worth talking about. So the interview first starts off with him being asked about how the last 3 years have been for The Sims 4, and he talks about the rough launch and everything they've done so far, from the expansion packs to the free updates. And then he says, we're at the point now where it's fun, where we have all the scary features out of the way, all the big requests out of the way, finally released toddlers for our fans, and so now we can sort of focus on making fun stuff. It's not that it's easier, it's more, wouldn't it be cool if content. It frees us a bit. So, I guess it's nice to know that seasons is not a scary feature. Yeah, I'm sure what's raised a few eyebrows here is that there's no mention of seasons, but here's my take on it. I think Simguru Grant is deliberately avoiding mentioning seasons at all on purpose because, well, they're probably working on it at this point. And, well, seasons is a bit of a sensitive subject. It's a very highly requested thing, so I think if he mentioned seasons at all, it would raise even more eyebrows than what he originally said. Sometimes the Simgurus are allowed to comment on certain things, like here, where Simguru Sarah says that currently there's no plans for townhouses, but anything is possible in the future. But remember all the drama surrounding toddlers? They were never allowed to confirm or deny that they were ever going to come to the game, and then, surprise, they eventually did come out. So I think this is a similar thing with seasons, where they're just not allowed to comment on seasons if asked about it, because, well, it's probably being worked on. And then at the end of the interview, there's an interesting question brought up here about, now that the Pets expansion is out, what's the plan moving forward? So historically, after Pets, people are like, okay, we did the big pack, now we're going to think about something else. We want players to still be around because we are still making killer content, we're not going away. Pets is the biggest one, but we're not going to dial it back. Some of the stuff we are thinking about is pretty ambitious. It's also fresh twists on old things, and so I am hoping that people see Pets as the start of the second wave, not the end of the cycle. I want to do more content, keep upping the bar, more free content. Those are things that are super important to us, and we have been talking about stuff for next year for ages already because we want it to be super good. There's crazy long cycles. Next year, I want people to be like, wow, I can't believe you're doing all this stuff. Next year will be 4 years old and still here. I read that in its entirety because I think all of that is important. So they still intend on having The Sims 4 go on a good while longer. They're thinking about pretty ambitious stuff and also fresh twists on old things, so we'll still be getting fan favorite packs returning. And I'm sure I'm gonna get some comments, people saying, oh, does ambitious hint at an ambitions expansion for The Sims 4? Well, I highly doubt that because I think Get to Work is basically that. It would be nice to have more active careers in the future though. Like running a daycare I think could be an interesting one. And where he says that he wants us to be like, wow, I can't believe you're doing all this stuff, gives me hope that 2018 will be just as good or even better than this year was for The Sims 4. And I guess on a slightly cheesier note, well, The Sims 4 is turning 4 in 2018, so wouldn't it make sense to have the 4th year of The Sims 4 be its best one? I think The Sims 4 has finally started to get good this year. I mean, I'll do a much more in-depth video at the end of the year like I usually do, but The Sims 4 I think is now well on its way to become a truly great Sims game. So hopefully 2018 will be The Sims 4's best year. And gosh darn it, it better involve seasons. And cars would be great too. I actually did have this dream last night where a blog post got leaked announcing that cars were coming into free updates, and there was this female sim standing in the Spice District with what looked a lot like the default camper van from Animal Crossing Pocket Camp behind her, so that'd be kinda cool if that came true, just saying. Even though I'm pretty sure at this point, none of my Sims-related dreams have ever come true, but, well, there's a first time for everything, so hopefully that'll apply to that too. And that wraps up another Sims info/thoughts video. So let me know in the comment section below if you would buy the Sims 1 on Origin, if that really does end up happening, and if you're going to make any local Pride pets to upload to the gallery, and what you think could be coming in Sims 4's potentially ambitious future. I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!